had to be whatever I was. So anyway, one night went down, and here were these two girls walking down the street, minding their own business. And we thought, oh, we're going to have to stop them and see what we can accomplish here. So we stopped, talked to them, and from then I kept seeing her. She worked at a restaurant here in Jamestown. So when I come down, I had to go get something to eat there and go see my wife, my girlfriend.
The Tree of Life project is a project where we bring together folk artists with elders to create a 7-foot-tall Polish paper cutting representing the Tree of Life motif. During the process, the elders gather and discuss important parts of their lives, from the roots of their family tree to life after death. Led by artists, volunteers, and care facility staff, the elders create paper cuttings representing important parts of their lives. Conversations with one another begins with ancestry, where their families came from. During these talks, acorns representing the roots of the family tree or flowers are created. Elders visit and get to know one another and connect with one another on a more intimate level. Another session involves love and marriage, where the elders talk about those experiences and share memories of their spouses with one another, all the while making paper cuttings of doves to represent that part of their lives. A different session might involve the elders sharing memories of their children by making apples to represent their sons or their daughters.
You like it? Yeah. Okay, good. Because it was like an accident.
Most nostalgic experiences are rooted in what a culture values, or so when you actually look at the memories, like if you have people write down memories and just not elaborate, but just list briefly, like what are the things that you're nostalgic for, you will see like a high frequency of things that we could call cultural rites of passage, so religious ceremonies, other cultural ceremonies like weddings, holiday, going on vacation with family, Christmas dinner. And so a lot of these aspects are very much tied to the cultural narrative of the time, or what's important at the time. And so, not surprisingly, a lot of these things invoke art.
The Tree of Life is a folk concept and a folk motif that's found in cultures around the world. It is found in traditional songs, in traditional religions, in traditional art. One of the most colorful and elaborate representations of this motif is found in Polish wycinanki, paper cutting. This art form is used as a vehicle to engage the elders in both nostalgia and life review.
When we got flowers, we'd get flowers for them, and then we'd give them to Mom. And it was fun to give them to Mom. She liked it. Her face would light up, and she put them in a vase on the table, and the ants would fly all over the place. That was funny. We went and picked them and we bought them. So they were half and half. We had a string of lilacs. So we went and picked lilacs. And she had a whole bunch, big bunch, but this big. And oh boy, they were pretty, all different colors. She had light purple, dark purple, pink, and they were totally different.
We have, I think, gotten a little smarter through the years and realized that there's more to life in a care facility than getting your meals and your medications. With important things, but you can get really excellent physical care and still have a really lousy life.
Making the tree, I'd never made any paper cutting that large, and I was amazed that it actually turned out and stuck to the to the cloth.
Flypaper.
You know, yeah. And then when all the colors got put on it, it was just incredible. We also went into rooms and worked one-on-one with a few people and told them the story of what we were doing and asked them some of the similar questions.
That gives the elders a voice, I think, is extremely valuable, because I think that all too often their voices aren't heard, and it needs to be reinforced that we want to hear what they have to say.
Yeah.
Wind bicycle. Oh, I was out of trip.
That was a good present.
I think I still have it somewhere. They were really aware.
Polish paper cutting is an ideal art form for people who have poor vision because the contrast of colors is bright and it is easier to see. The cutting technique can utilize hole and edging punches, squeeze and push punches to make it easier for people to participate who have physical challenges. And metaphorically, people connect with the Tree of Life motif.
So life review, well, there's different forms of ideas that people refer to sometimes as autobiographical based therapies or life review, and reminiscence therapies, I guess, is another term. And there are different versions of these. Ultimately, I think at the core of all these ideas, or all these different therapeutic modalities, is an effort to allow people to construct or their life story, and to share that life story. And it has a lot to do with forming this continuous sense of self and identity and what you've done with your life.
So how do you break the ice? How do you get close to another person to really get to know that person? How do you address issues of loneliness that have a very real health impact? What better way than through an art form that deals with the most important parts of a person's life? And that's the Tree of Life.
If you just ask people to describe what is nostalgia, regardless of the language, regardless of the culture, regardless of the age, whether you're talking to a teenager or an 80-year-old, they all say pretty much the same thing of what nostalgia means and how it feels. And it's the sentimental feeling that we have for the memories that we hold most dear, the memories that give us our sense of self and identity, and that make us feel like life's meaningful.
And that's a shame. It used to be so much fun. And walking kids around, with the May baskets, and we'd knock on the door and then run because they were supposed to be caught.
Last year, our kids.
When you're talking about love and marriage, when you're talking about children, when you're talking about growing older, especially for elders in care facilities, when you're talking about the end of life stages, what happens after? These are the big questions that are really at our core. If you really want to get to know someone, if you really want to celebrate one's life or reconcile with life's disappointments, we need to get to the core.
That's what I remember. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
There's been a number of economists and different people who've written about nostalgia as people who are like conservatively minded and stuck in the past, right? They can't think creatively or open-mindedly, and they can't move forward. But then we start doing research on this, right? You have to test these things. And we were surprised to find out that no, like when people think about these nostalgic memories, it doesn't make them miserable. It doesn't make them past focus. It doesn't make them hate their present life. It doesn't make them feel like they're a loser and things were way better in the past. Instead, it seems to be something energizing where they use it as fuel to have the confidence to move forward.
No frosting.
No.
Okay. Did you do strawberries?
Nostalgia and life review are two very powerful therapeutic tools used in working with elders. Such processes have a very obvious emotional and psychological impact, but they also have a very real physiological impact as well.
And we're reaching a corner of their psyche or their memory that brings back a positive reaction in them. and it has an impact on their whole outlook, their behavior. And even if you have a short memory, which some of our residents, are at that forgetful place in life, the endorphins are still there. They participate in the activity, they enjoy the activity, and the good feeling carries on even if the memory of the specific event is kind of slipped away.